It'll be ready whenever it's ready.
Welcome everybody. Hi Esther. Hi Stephanie. Hi Linda. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see all of you. Welcome.
Hello from North Shasta.
Hi Linda. Hi. Welcome. Nice to see you. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Monica and I will be co-hosting the call today. So welcome to your Ancient Secrets Global Healing Miracle Call. We have a lot of exciting stories, a lot of shares, some beautiful music from Sarah, and I'm so happy to be of service doing this today. I want to start off the call by asking everyone to type in the chat, or if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, type in the comments one thing that you are grateful for today. And I'm going to be calling on some of you to share with us. I'm wondering, is Randy on the call today? Randy, hi. Can you unmute yourself and tell us one thing that you're grateful for? And also, I understand that you have a miracle story to share with us.
Grateful just to be alive on this planet Earth at this point in time. Do you want me to share this story now, or would you like to?
Can you share? I'm really curious to know.
Well, I was talking to Jana the other day. For those who don't know me, I'm Randy. I'm living in Costa Rica for the last 26 years, and in the morning I sit on my deck, which is on the second floor, first floor, whatever you want to call it, and have my coffee. And it overlooks a pasture where I can see my horses usually in the morning grazing. It's very peaceful, and and I see the jungle in front of me. Well, this morning my horses weren't there, and all the dogs were up around me. I have 5 dogs, and I just was looking at the jungle, and out on the corner, I see this big boar. It's a peccary type. It is a peccary, but there's a type up there. I've lived here, like you say, 26 years. I've never seen one quite this big and quite this beautiful. I see them, the pigs around every now and then, but this thing came across the pasture directly towards me. He was probably 2.5 feet at the shoulders. He came across with like pride, with confidence and no fear. And he just walked right up to within 50 feet of me, and he looked up at me. Now, their eyesight isn't very good, but he knew I was there. And I looked at him, and I could just sense, I said, this is an Atikitivawawa moment. And what does it mean to me at this moment in time? Well, we'd just been starting the course. This happened a couple of days ago. And I guess what it signified for me, or what I took from it, was that he was showing me to move forward with confidence and without fear and with pride. And that's what I got to take out of it. And then the dogs finally saw him, and off he went. But then the next day we talk about this abundance thing, and yes, it's abundance of financial, we're maybe after, but abundance is abundance. The next day, over 40 toucans. The toucan is we have the yellow breasted one here, the Fruit Loop bird, if you wish. But anyway, over 40 came into the trees behind the house where I was sitting, having my coffee again. And again, that's the most I'd ever counted before was like 18 or something in a group, and over 40 came. I lost count after a while, but that was, again, what does that show you? You can just dismiss it and go, oh, it's a group of birds. Or you can just say it's another sign of abundance, that things are going the way they should go. So that was the stories that I've experienced so far on this journey, and I take it as it's something I guess we can all say, well, these things happen, but not when you've just started a course and a financial thing happened to me when I was buying a machine. I got a better deal than I wanted, or than I was expecting. Things like this, little things, and what our job in this course especially is to take note of these things that are happening every day and see to take a bigger look into them. And that's what I've been doing. And that was my story. And for me, it was great.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that. And, nature is so abundant, and it's such a gift, at least for me, when I'm visited by animals, and there's so much to learn from them. So it's such a miracle. Like, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Randy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. And is there anyone else that would like to share what they're grateful for? How about Rafael? You're muted.
Okay, I just unmuted. Well, it's like sitting in the back of the class. You don't think the teacher's going to call on you. Well, oh my gosh, grateful. Well, I'm really grateful for this group and this community. I just find it so uplifting and positive. And I think someone else mentioned that on the call yesterday, and the MAE is it just sometimes getting on the call and feeling so and okay, I'm starting my day. I always start with a meditation and some real divine alignment, and asking to be that vessel of purest love and to see only through that highest truth and love. But I still felt just kind of so. And after every time in these calls, I just feel enlivened and uplifted, and especially with this MEE, very, very positive. I was sharing on the breakout room of coming from a much higher place of love, just more love. And if you're going to be of service to anyone, even helping a friend, just increasing that so much more, feeling immense love, like I can't wait to help this person. I can't wait to pour my love, or I can't wait to receive every moment of miracle of grace that's just unfolding before me. So I noticed there's just the positivity has just gone up several octaves. So I'm just grateful for so many things. And when you mentioned, Clint, to put in a journal or write down 3 things you're grateful for, I noticed I could easily it just spills into 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it can be really little things, and those things add up. I mean, the big things are obvious to be grateful for, right? A sudden windfall of money, or just a relationship that didn't go well, it suddenly is magical. Those we just go, wow, thank you. But just, and I want to say real quick, in the Unstoppable video of Dr. Naram, I think the first or second time it was played, that love overflowing and what he's sharing. And I noticed spontaneously inside, I was just going, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God. And it was just repeating in every cell of my being hundreds of times, almost automatically. And it was from love. Love is God. It's all, synonymous to me. And so it just happened so spontaneously. And I did have to go help a woman that day. And that we could help, and I just couldn't help but pour more love in that, in helping her. There was an excitement in it. Anyway, so I know that was grateful for several things.
I just reading Esther Francis says this. She says, how do I pronounce your name? Rafael?
Rahael, that's when you say Rachel, it takes me a minute, but when you say Mount Shasta, they go, oh, that's me. And
I love that.
Rahael.
I love they're joining from a tent in Mount Shasta right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is my tent, and there's a
Cool.
kitty cat with me, and
Esther Francis says, Rafael, yes, 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 exclamation point. Ditto, exclamation point. I love the way you're speaking it out so gloriously. 4 exclamation points. Thank you, exclamation point. So beautiful. Linda Hogan says, yes, spontaneous chills. Beautiful. So much love coming. Sorry, please keep going. Actually, really quick though, I wanted, because I'm reading some of the things in the chat. Going back to Randy, Luke adds this. Luke says, in the medicine cards, here's what it said about the boar. The spirit of the wild boar teaches the lessons of confronting our own fears, challenges that we may be facing, or situations we're finding uncomfortable. We learn to look at our own weakness and to change them into strengths. And I love what Randy, what you said about, there was no fear in him. He just came confidently towards you. And I know in the miracle experiment experience, especially since we're doing things we've never done, and especially because we're looking at abundance, Dr. Ram says 2 greatest obstacles any of us face is fears and ego. And so in this space, certain thing is going to come up. Something's going to trigger us. Maybe it will be in our small group, or maybe it will be something said in the whatever, but just to trust, to surrender in that trust and move forward confidently, surrendering to the process is a really powerful thing. So thank you, Randy, for bringing in that medicine, as well as the Fruit Loop birds. I saw Mike like that one especially. Please don't eat Fruit Loops as a part of the miracle experiment experience. We'll give you mung soup, but we can celebrate all the color of life. Okay, beautiful. Please keep going, Monica.
Yes, I see Romarishi's hand is up, but I also wanted to encourage anyone who is new to our community. If this is your first time here, we would love to get to know you. You can type in that you're new and where you're from, where you're joining, or if you'd like to just share what you're grateful for. I would love to hear from the new people as well, just to get to know you. But in the meantime, Romarishi, I see your hand is up.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Well, it's wonderful just hearing Rahael, because she's our absolute best friend in the whole world. We adore her. And we also had a visit the last 2 days from another friend in Mount Shasta who was driving down the Oregon coast in her 22-foot trailer. And her name is Nandini, and Rahael knows her well. And Nandini came to visit because she wanted to see us, and she also wanted to attend the fire puja that happens here every Friday night with our spiritual teacher. And so she came. We were really happy she came. Now, we didn't really know her super well. She was I would say she was an acquaintance of ours in Mount Shasta. But we became dear, dear, dear friends during the 2 days that she came here. It was a wonderful connection. It was an abundance of love. And she came over where our travel trailer is. Now, my number one desire that day, it was very mundane. It wasn't like just to become a pure channel of love for the whole world. It was, I wanted to get the water working in our trailer, because we moved our trailer here from Mount Shasta about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and we still weren't living in it. We were still living in our tent because we hadn't gotten the trailer working properly. And we're not experts in travel trailers. This is the first time we've ever lived in one. So our friend, Nandini, came over, and in 2 hours, she got everything working. We have running water now in our kitchen and our bathroom, hot water also. We have a working refrigerator. We have a working 3-burner stove. We have the AC working. And so this was a major, major thing in our life so that we could move out of our tent and really live comfortably in our travel trailer. And so that was a great indication of abundance. That's it.
Wow, that's amazing, Romarishi. I mean, like to witness what you have been through so far and experience those miracles is so great.
And now we're living comfortably in our trailer. We have pictures on the wall of the saints that we love. And yeah, it's really,
We just see
we're
the
living now
screensaver of the
comfortably.
mountains and stuff right now, or the background. But
Oh,
we're
yeah.
imagining all the saints. We see the saint in front of us.
Oh yeah, right.
That's okay.
So
Thank you,
yeah,
Romarishi,
so
and
it's
thank
a
you.
wonderful thing. And once more, I have to thank Clint, because Clint played a major role in us getting this travel trailer. And Clint, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you every day.
And Luke.
And Luke also. Luke was the one who started the GoFundMe campaign.
Yeah, and everyone here who sent love, encouragement, anything, thank you so much.
Yeah,
So beautiful.
yes. And the beautiful woman from Texas, Geeta, who was on one of the calls on Sunday,
Yeah.
and she alone gave us $6,000. So
Yeah.
that was real abundance flowing in. And thank you, Clint, for facilitating everything.
Oh, thank you, Romarishi and Tara. You know, this call is about what are the secrets? What are the ancient secrets for non-toxic, long-term predictable abundance? Or as Barbara from Australia reframed it, what are the secrets for divine abundance? So I just want to see, and Tara is on this call. Actually, Tara, I'll just spotlight you. The story you shared this week, maybe not everyone here heard, but you know, having a partner that you were married to and then having it not work out sometimes can create certain challenges. And to have him reach out of the middle of nowhere, right when we're playing the miracle experiment game focused on abundance, for him to donate $500 to your new home with your new partner, that is such a blessing, a gift of love and healing and abundance on so many levels, that I just want all of us again to anchor that in and celebrate it. It's a microcosm of the macrocosm. And by that happening for you, that kind of healing can happen for all of us. So let's send so much love to Tara, to Romarishi, to her former partner. We love you. We're with you. Yeah.
Thank you. It was, yeah, it was an amazing surprise, and you know, it was a real healing too when you after that, after 30 or 30 more than 30 years, you know. And yeah, it was
deep healing is possible. And in this miracle experiment experience, things may come up from 20, 30 years ago that it's time to love it and let it go. And then be in the position where all the abundance can come in all aspects, all the birds in the trees, all of the nature, showing up to confirm that we are worthy of love, we are worthy of abundance. So Tara, thank you for being a great example of that, and Romarishi as well. Sending you so much love.
Thank you.
All right. All the stories and examples today are anchoring in the principles that those that are in the miracle experiment experience are applying every single day. Discovering, what do you want? What do you want? And so our musical number is going to focus on that. Then practicing Atiti Devo Bhava, noticing the mystical experiences that happen with animals or people that show up, anything. It could be an emotion that shows up, the unexpected guest, treating it as if God himself or herself has come. And the third is infusing your life with gratitude. Monica, you did awesome at bringing that out. I just reading the chat, I had like, my smile kept like, I have to give myself a massage because it was so fun reading all the gratitude that is coming. Sharon, you have something you want to share? I just want to make sure we give you a chance.
I do. Let's see. So this is not a news story, but it's so good. I want to share it. And it's a little dated from what I'm going to say, but I was at a filming actually back in the 80s that Louise Hay was doing an event. And one of the women, it's about being clear about what you want. And she needed a new vacuum cleaner and a typewriter. So she's driving down the street in Los Angeles, sitting on the corner is a vacuum cleaner with a sign that says free, it works. And she couldn't believe her luck. So she parked the car and goes up to the house to make sure, number one, it really does work, and number two, that she really can take it. And the owner of the house comes to the door and says, yes, and I have to get something else for you. He goes back and comes back with the typewriter. So you don't even really need money to have abundance. Clarity is the first thing.
Yes, be clear on what you want. Sharon, thank you for that beautiful example. And also, before we move on, I saw some people, it's their first time ever. Alana, welcome. So glad that Julia Graydon invited you, and all the other people. I actually saw Melissa. Oh, sorry, it says it's your first time. I want to spotlight a couple people that I was just with in Mexico at an event in which I was getting clarity myself and trying to purify myself so that I could be the most beautiful, there would be the least resistance from me as we entered into the miracle experiment game, the most pure vessel I could be, for the abundance to flow for everybody. And in that space, there are some people there who I just want to bring on. One of them is Melissa. Yes. Welcome, Melissa. This is your first time on a Global Healing Miracle Call. Awesome. Yes.
Hey.
Hey. And then I also saw, I think Palak is here. Yes, Palak. I just want to spotlight you. Yes. Welcome.
Hi.
And then I think Mandy Perry, I think she's here, which you heard her on one of the global calls. Yes. And then I just bring on Michael Smith again. I don't know if there's anyone else that's joining us from that group, but we're all in Mexico, kind of hosted by Aiden. And it was about abundance in a way, creating a new model of abundance, creating a cryptocurrency that's based in love, but so many other things about how to help people do things that are healthy and loving, and then abundance flow from those things. And in that setting, we actually talk about Atiti Devabhawa. There was this mystical experience that happened. And so I'm going to play this video and then I ask those who are spotlighted on the screen right now to share their reaction. So we're in the last kind of meditation ceremony. We're all sitting around, and then all of a sudden this visitor came in. And if you're on the miracle call in the miracle experiment experience, you saw this on Monday, but I just want to play it again to hear these people's reactions. So we're in that setting, and then all of a sudden this unexpected visitor came in. We're all like, what's happening? And then he went outside for a little bit. He's like, okay, what's happening in there? Something's happening in there. And then later he came in again. He sat right at the beautiful altar where the people guiding the meditation were leading it, and then came over, sat next to Mandy, even picked up her journal as if he was reading it. It's like, oh, this is interesting. Then he went over towards, you can see Mandy there again. He watched the sunrise with Mike Smith. Then he came over and he hung out with me and Melissa. Melissa was giving him a massage. Melissa, you want to describe that experience? What was happening there?
Yeah, it was super beautiful. I will never forget it. It's one of the most meaningful experiences I've had with a wild animal. So he was going around, and I was sort of hoping he would come to me, and finally he did. And for some reason, he just sat there, and I just felt inclined to give him a back massage. So it was really epic because he enjoyed it so much. And at some point, you could see, like, I will touch like a spot that felt really good, and he would like melt to the ground, but then be like, oh no, like this is like, I have to be alert. And then he had like the cutest hair, like naturally. So I started to like give him a head massage, and he got really angry because I messed up his hairstyle. So he like started to like styling it like a man, like he was like in the mirror. And then afterwards I understood he liked his hairstyling, so I gave him a mohawk, and he was happy with that. He didn't remove the mohawk, so that was just really magical.
Yeah, it was so magical. He was loving. In fact, when she first started touching him, I thought he was going to react. What he did is he was kind of sitting to the side, and then when she first started giving him a massage, he turned his back properly so she could get his full back, you know. And then he was massaged by two different women. I was like, I want to get in line for this massage. But when she touched his hair, that was the only time he got angry and backed away. He's like, no, don't touch my hair. And then he was smoothing it all out. One of the other funny experiences, people were giving him a little slice of apple or banana just out of love. Dr. Am says, feed the unexpected guest as a part of the miracle experiment experience. I saw Roma, Rishi, and Tara. No wonder you're seeing so many blessings. They're out feeding cows every day. They're finding animals. You can feed crows, you can feed any animal, but especially cows, dogs, and crows, according to this ancient science. But also many people are feeding homeless, which is beautiful. Now, Pollock had just walked up and she had a little apple in her hand. For some reason, the monkey thought she wanted to give it to him. He just took it out of her hand, and the look on her face was so funny. All of us were laughing. Pollock, what was going through your mind at that moment?
Mostly shock and disbelief. I would have given him an apple, except this one happened to be in half of it was already eaten, and the other half was in my hand. And I guess I'm eye level to the monkey, sitting on the cushion, and he came and got it. And before I could even react, he had already eaten my apple. And I was just like, hey. I'm like, have an apple. But I think I had asked in that meditation for fun. And I thought, what better way for fun to show up in my life than, these serendipitous, funny moments that will forever stay with me, because I can probably tell you, I've never had a monkey take anything out of my hand. I've intentionally fed them, but I've never had the monkey take my food, which probably I was supposed to share with him. And I should have thought of that when I sat down, and he thought it for me. So yeah, and then
that's so beautiful. And talk about the intention of fun. When you're looking at the meaning of different animals, monkey is definitely about playfulness. And I brought it into this miracle experiment experience because that's what we're doing. We're doing things we've never done before, but instead of being stressed, why not be playful and allow the abundance to come through that joy and that playfulness? And when he took that apple from Pollock, then abundance came for Pollock. She got given another apple,
Yes,
that was taken care of. But in that moment, all of us just laughed because he felt like family, and then he stayed with us basically the whole time. Mike, what was it like watching the sunset, going up for the sunset and then seeing this monkey sitting next to you and watching the...
Oh, it's the sunrise. And
the sunrise. Yeah.
And my experience with monkeys previous from Bali, and the Balinese monkeys are a bit more aggressive, and they tell you don't look in their eyes, and and they're very territorial and hierarchical and things like this. So I was very cautious about this monkey. We kind of named him Gary. I don't know if that stuck or not.
Yeah, it did. It did.
But to have a wild monkey show up like he did, and to be so calm, and to be touched, and to be to fit in, to read Mandy's journal, to be fed and be massaged was amazing. And to start the morning off, to watch the sunrise out of the Caribbean Sea, and to see this beautiful ancestor, that we might think is wild and things like this, that I wonder what he was thinking of us. These humans all seemed kind of chill. They weren't like freaking out or anything else, but it was a beautiful experience to be so close to such a genetically kindred spirit and being.
Wow, so beautiful. It's so true. It just kind of reminds me of how magical all of life can be, especially when we're aligned with nature and there's no, again, fear and ego. Dr. Ram talks about those are the two biggest obstacles we have. When fear goes away, and then ego is, playfulness is a way to break through ego as well. If you're playful, oftentimes, of course, some of us have played games where we have a lot of ego and then the fights come, but if you can be playful in those moments, it's a diffuser, a very, very, very big, beautiful lesson. Mandy, what was your experience? I want to hear.
Oh my goodness. It's been like the never ending lesson from the monkey. I watched how he would just look at everybody right across the room, every single person, like he was taking in every single person inside the room. And I looked to see if he was looking in the eyes, and I couldn't tell until he came to me, and I thought, he looked me dead in the eyes. Like this, I feel like he just like knew everybody so much more than we could have possibly known ourselves. It was so amazing. And then he came over and I had left to go to the bathroom. When I came back, he was sitting on my bed reading through my journal. And I was like, yeah, you got the right one. Let's get all the good stuff. I was like, I'll go tell the humans, you go tell the animal kingdom. We're gonna team up for this. And then it's like, I have not forgot that monkey. He has just stayed with me and stayed with me and stayed with me. And he keeps sort of like just his playfulness, his joyfulness, his ability to really like see, and how he just was absorbing and trusting. And the dogs would come and he would scamper up and then they would go away and he would come back down. And it was like, I noticed all these moments in my life when I tell a story, I didn't even notice, of like, oh, when the kids are older, finally all the things where I put it, it'll be there when I go to try to find it. Or, oh, when I, just like, when this happens, then I can finally feel this way. When this happens, then when I finally get all my health done, then I'll finally have the energy I want. Instead of just really living in the playful and joyfulness of like what it is now and appreciating what it is now. And for some reason, that monkey has unlocked me being able to see that over and over and over. It's so beautiful. I'm so grateful.
It's so beautiful. There's one point where I did actually, because the book, it was the first time I was in a Spanish speaking country with the book translated in Spanish, and I had it out, and also the monkey came and he blessed it. I just felt like even Belle, she's put in the chat, when I heard about this monkey, I think it might be, Dr. Elmer, his spirit or his energy coming around to grace all of you. Aiden, who is hosting the whole event, even though he's never met Dr. Ram, has a very big connection, very strong connection. He feels like Dr. Ram is guiding him in most of what he's doing. So it doesn't seem like an accident that not only was the book blessed at the end of the book, that whole story with the monkey showing up at the monkey temple and holding the book, but then again, in this very sacred setting, when we're about to launch something called the Miracle Experiment Experience, focusing on abundance, that Hanuman, this avatar of this energy, which is removing blocks in a playful way, shows up in that space. And so it's so beautiful. I also, just because we have both of you here, you both experienced also the Marma Shakti in that session too. And we heard from Mandy, her experience, but I want to hear, Melissa, what was your experience with the Marma Shakti? And then we'll move into the next section with Monica and Sarah.
It's really interesting because I had never heard of that. And it was Sarah that mentioned something that Clint does on the back on passing at the beginning of our time together. And I was like, oh, I'm interested in that. So I asked you once, I was like, hey, Clint, can you do the back thing that you do on me? And then a couple of days passed, and then I saw you again, and I'm like, Clint, the back thing, like I'm open to do it whenever you have time. And then it still time passed and we didn't get to it. But on the very last day, I saw you and I was like, okay, I'm going to ask him one more time. I was like a little bit embarrassed to ask again, but I'm like, I'm going to ask him one more time. So I went up to you and I was like, Clint, the back thing, I think this is the time. I really I feel now is the perfect time for us to do that. And I remember you got so happy. You're like, oh, yes, okay, I'm so glad you asked. It has to, I love it when people ask 3 times. That's when I know, it's the right time to do it. So I didn't know what we were going to do at all. But it was really beautiful because we attracted more and more people that came around, and some of them expressed interest to also have this done by you on them. So it was just a super good group that we got together. And then I absolutely didn't know what to expect. And at that particular moment, I didn't have any pain per se. I felt my body just need to be anchored and aligned. So we went through the process, and sure enough, I could put my hands on the ground, and it was like, oh, and I was really amazed by the moment, from the moment you started tapping on my forehead, I was able to really enter, that clarity space and everything that you were saying, which normally my mind is very scattered. So right there from the get-go, it was already wow, I'm actually able to see this image he's talking about. So that was cool. So basically we go through the process, and I just I move my arm back, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening right now? Instantly, I've had this scar tissue on my right shoulder blade, especially for over 10 years. And every time I will move my arm back, it will go and I could hear like all the scar tissue, and it was just gone. And I mean, it's still gone. And like Mandy said, like don't be looking for the pain, because if you're looking for it, you'll find it. Because I found myself like going like, oh, where is it? Like, so I haven't been doing that, but I've been like every day I've been like grateful because it's not there. Like it's really not there. So my back is doing much better. So thank you.
Bravo. Yes. And I love what Mandy says. She says, the deepest stirring continues to unfold from the marma for me. For me, it's like shaking up deep old trauma that doesn't belong and let it find its way to healing. The healing is so far beyond just the physical for me. They're both such huge blessings. This was the best tip forever for me. Don't search for the pain. Morgine, I saw you had something that you wanted to share too. I don't know if you still want to speak that, and then Romarishi and Tara.
I just have a good feeling about spirits being in the room, and I noticed that other people thought that Dr. Naram was in the room with you with the monkey, and I just felt that his presence was very, very evident in the room when the monkey was doing all those things. So I just wanted to share that. It felt to me, I really could feel his presence, and I think that he was visiting all of you and being very playful and joyful and adding his energy and affirmations to your experience.
Yeah, well, there's so many different words I could use to describe Dr. Naram, but if two big words I would say is presence and playfulness. He was so much of these things, so present. You felt like you're the only person in the world, and then so playful. So playful. And that's what the monkey, I feel like it did for me, was it reminded me of that, the presence and playfulness. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, Romarishi and Tara, and then we'll go into the next section.
Yes, I think many of you know that Tara and I have dedicated our entire life actually to studying the lives of great siddhas. This is everything Tara and I do. And we've given over 600 free seminars all over America and Asia on the lives of great siddhas. And I think it's really important for us to acknowledge the great siddhas who passed this knowledge of the ancient secrets down to us. We really should be grateful to them, going all the way back to Jivaka. People dedicated their lives to understanding how to bring health and happiness to every heart in the world. And one thing that I just would like to share is that it's a very well-known fact that these great siddhas can indeed manifest in any form at any time, anywhere in the world. I know many people have said they felt that Dr. Naram, that Dr. Naram was there when the monkey came, right? Well, that is indeed actually possible. The great Siddha masters can take any form of any animal and appear out of their compassion for anyone at any time, anywhere in the world.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for anchoring that in, Romarishi. There's one moment of that same meditation where I was in a deep process, actually. And I was meditating. I just had to go outside and get some air. And I just felt like all this energy moving through me so much that I felt like I wanted to vomit. And as I was in that space and just breathing, I was sitting on a mattress facing the ocean and all the trees were around. And I just remember feeling like all of a sudden this movement of energy. And I felt like the I dissolved into the I am. And then specifically the I am that's tied to the beloved, to love. And then in that moment, realizing that I am abundance, I am love, I am strength, I am play. And as I put my fingers, at first I had my fingers like this. This is a marma when you're wanting to anchor something in for yourself. And then like in the marma we did for Melissa and Mandy, different ones, you do a specific mantra and marma for someone else. I put it on my fingers for the second. I was thinking of each of you on this call. I was thinking of, I had flashing through me so many faces and names. And I was like, we are abundance. I was just knowing we were about to start the miracle experiment experience, focus on abundance. And I put my fingers to the ground. I was like, thank you, Earth. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you for the abundance that is flowing in and through all of us. And as I finally put my hands up, I felt all the trees shaking. And very similar to Randy, I looked at, and there was hundreds of birds in the trees that weren't there before. And then I looked down, and this monkey Gary was sitting right next to me with his hand like right by my side. I was like, oh, thank you, all of life. The most sacred moment in that whole experience for me was just confirmed through nature. And I just felt like the joy of it and the love of it. And then it was so beautiful that right after that was when Melissa came and asked about the experience for the Marmon, and then so many people experienced healing from that alone. Is really powerful. We only have about 19 minutes left on the call, and we need to get to certain stories. And so Nehemiah, I know every time you speak, it lights us up. So, but I'm going to save it for the very end. I just want to make sure that we have time for the other things we have planned. So having said that, right after this experience in Mexico, we were in the airport, and many of you have heard the story already, but I'm going to turn it over to Monica and Sarah with a special experience for you now.
Yes. So I was in Mexico for a couple of days, and I had the pleasure of sharing my tent with Sarah, who I had never met before. And just her energy and her authenticity is so amazing and contagious. And I'm excited to introduce her, and she can tell us a little bit more about her first class experience. And also she will share with us one of her songs.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I'm first of all really grateful to Clint for inviting me on this call to share a technique and a process with you. One of my greatest joys in life is to sing. And some of you have heard the story already. On our way home from Mexico, we were sharing in the airport, we were sharing songs, we were singing out loud. At times hoping to inspire a sing along amongst those around us. And we were, talking about it already, talking about this, getting really clear on what you want. And one of the things that really came in really strong for me while we were in Mexico and being in the play with the monkey and seeing some really masterful facilitators and beautiful musicians, I got really clear that, I want to magnetize more opportunity to sing and share my voice and share my prayers and sing with masterful musicians like that were there with us in Mexico. So I got really clear on what I wanted, and I was telling him, that I'm feeling called to step into more of this part of what I offer the world, and that I believe that I'm being asked to step into the faith, that I could be flown first class all around the world for the prayers and my voice, and that it's enough. And we're singing together, we're singing more songs together.
Yeah, then we just started singing together, and we walked up to the gate. She was in row 22, I was in a different row, and I just asked the people, is there any way we can sit together? They're like, no, it's a full flight, that's impossible. And all of a sudden they looked at our tickets, they're like, okay, we'll try and do something. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but next thing you know, they upgraded both of us. And then we walked on the plane, sitting first class right after she had talked about it. And they bring her up a glass of champagne. And she's like, I guess this is good confirmation that I should focus on what I want. So beautiful.
Yeah. So today what I have for you is a song that came to me. Actually, Clint was there. And abundance in that moment looked like more hot water for a tea ceremony so that we could keep singing at the temple. And the song came to me, and it's something that I do and practice a lot. And I want to offer this to you. You've all heard about affirmations and prayers. And if you want to see something happen, write it down. I think, and speaking out loud, the power of using your voice to speak something out loud. And I think when you sing it, it makes this 100 times more potent when you can sing something. And there's good science that suggests why mantras are good. It actually reverberates and massages the organs inside of your body. And it gets this information that you're speaking or singing deeper into each and every cell. So I think this is a really amazing practice to sing. And I have a song for you. It's really easy to learn. We're going to sing it together. It was decided the 6 times was the magic number that we would sing this. There are 4 lines in the song, so it's really easy to pick up. Whenever you pick it up, I'm going to put it in the chat here. Whenever you pick it up, sing along. And after the 3rd time, when we think everybody's got it, we're going to sing together the last 3 times. So 6 times in total. And I want to remind anybody who feels a little nervous about singing that it's really about getting this truth deeper into your body. It's not about singing to perfection. So find that voice that feels natural and true and resonates through your body. And in the words of one of my great sisters who leads sing-alongs all over the world, she says, we don't sing to be perfect, we sing to be free. So this is the song for you. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything we need is coming to us. Everything we need is coming to trust. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything we need is coming to us. Everything we need is coming to trust. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything we need is coming to us. Everything we need is coming to trust. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything we need is coming to us. Everything we need is coming to trust. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything we need is coming to us. Everything we need is coming to trust. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything I need is coming to me. Everything we need is coming to us. Everything we need is coming to trust. Do we want to do it one more time where we all unmute ourselves and listen to the cacophony?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Unmute yourself and sing along. Okay, ready? Everything I need is coming to me.
Everything
Everything I need is coming to me. Everything we need is coming to us.
Everything we need is coming
To
to
us. Amazing.
You have to unmute yourself, Sarah. Just 1 second. We had to mute everyone.
You had to mute everyone, so can you please mute yourself again?
Perfect. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And I invite you to use this as a practice. I've seen miracles happen, unfold before my eyes. If you're stressed out in traffic, try to sing a song about flow and letting it go and being easy in the body, and you'll see the traffic start moving in your lane. So it's really amazing what can happen when you liberate your voice and use it to share with others. And I really appreciate you, Clint. Thank you, everybody, for singing along. And I'll pass it over to the next miracle stories.
Well, Linda, you had an experience that happened to you while you were singing?
Yes. Okay. Now forgive my look because I'm getting ready for the next call, but this is what I look like right now. But my beautiful, beautiful mother. I'm in the kitchen cooking pancakes that are gluten-free, wheat-free, all kinds of free payload pancakes for my brother who's sick I take care of. And she heard me starting to sing. And I'm like just kind of dancing while I'm making the pancakes singing. And all of a sudden I got something in the side of my eye. So I turned around. It was my mom. She was dancing and she didn't know the words, but she was dancing, moving her hands. And she's 87 years old. Yes, yeah. You did a reading, a pulse reading on her once.
Yes, I remember you. It's so good to see you. Thank you for dancing with us. Great.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
but thank you.
such a beautiful gift. Thank you, Linda. That is so joyful. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I see lots of love in the chat saying that's exactly what we need. And what a beautiful thing that the mother energy comes in that space. Your grandmother energy. You know, speaking of which, we have 3 more people that have joined the Golden Angel Council. I'm going to ask you if you can come off of your cameras, if put your camera on if possible. I just want to acknowledge these wonderful women just really briefly. The first one is Sarabjit. Yeah. Joining the Golden Angel Council. And then Sissy, I don't know if you can come, if you can start your video. I know you're in the middle of transition right now. If you can't, that's okay. Sarabjit, thank you for being willing to show up in this way and serve and love in this way. The other one is Andrea for humanity. Yes. Joining the Golden Angel Council. And then Sissy, yeah, here we go. These powerful women are also joining with, oh, I don't know if you're able to show your camera or not, but joining with Ronnie, Aiden, and with Esther Francis, and we have some others that we'll be inviting over the next weeks. But this is our council of powerful, wise women who, in this community, when we have some questions about how to be guided or what to do or where to focus energy or effort, we have the blessing and gift of these women, these powerful women that we can consult with and get their advice and guidance for. They'll serve for a period of 1 year, and then it can be extended or transitioned in some way. But I just want to say thank you to each of you. We'll have you speak more and share more later, but just wanted to acknowledge you, especially as that mother energy came to dance with us and love on us. I just felt you so much. Let's put our hands together for these very powerful 5 women. We love you. We're with you. Thank you for saying yes to serve. Beautiful. Anything, Sarabjit or Andrea, you want to say in a minute or less?
Yeah, I was just really very surprised when you called Clint that day, and I couldn't take it in. But I'm very grateful and honored, and I would love to serve in any possible way with divine guidance. Thank you.
Sarabjit has already been serving. She created the whole, basically brought together artists, created all kinds of products and stuff that is in the Ancient Secrets Foundation store that has been helping fund the orphanage, t-shirts and tote bags and mugs. And it's a creation, but a creation of love. And so thank you for being in this space as well, Sarabjit.
Thank you.
Andrea, you have anything you want to share?
Yes, thank you again, Dr. Clint. It is a tremendous honor. And as I told you, yes, I'm an angel in training. So I look up to you, my sisters, for guidance. And I will be a really good student. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Now she's already done so many things, not only out of love, creating the index for the book, leading the effort of the beautiful people that created the summit, the Ancient Secrets Unstoppable event last time. Coming up soon is the next Ancient Secrets Unstoppable live event in Sedona in June. I believe it's in June. And so maybe Cornelia Carroll, you can post a link. This will be a fantastic, life-changing experience. And to express interest in joining, maybe someone can just put that link in the chat, but that would be awesome. Sissy, you have anything you want to share? I know maybe you're in transition right now, but just in a minute or so.
Yes, I just want to say quickly that, well, first of all, thank you so much. And, you know, as they've all said, it's an honor. For me, it's learning by doing and holding my sisters, you know, by hand as we both learn and grow together. So it's such a beautiful space to be in. And I truly look forward to being part of this beautiful community at this level with each one of you in the next 12 months. Thank you.
So powerful. And when I look at that group of women that have already been assembled, some others will be invited, representing all over the world, different cultures, different places, but coming from the same space of love, of service, of abundance, of possibility, and what can happen in that space. I'm very excited. Now, Mojda, are you here? When you love yourself, when you let love flow through you, you let healing flow through you, it's contagious. And when Mojda was in Utah, actually visiting Dr. Corey Branneman for some treatments, she shared with me a story. I was like, she's got to share this story. So thinking about people you love that maybe are skeptical, like I was a very big skeptic. I know we only have about 5 minutes, but Mojda, please share this powerful story about your dad. It's so entertaining and so endearing.
Will do. So when I originally in January I've learned about Ancient Secret, I started like following, I saw my Vidya and started following. I joined a school, and then my mom also like saw Vidya, and she started following diet. So I really wanted my dad to do it because he has high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, you name it. So and then I was just like, Dad, can we do it? And he says, no, I don't do these kind of things, especially like diet. No way. Go teach it to your mom. And I was just like, but Dad, like, just like at least take the herbs. He's like, no, not happening. So so then a few months goes by, I go to India and come back after 2.5 months. And then so now my mom is doing her 28 detox, and then so my dad's like watching my mom, and then one day he comes up to me, he's like, so is there a herb for prostate? And I said, yes, there is. Why you're asking? And so he's just like, well, I was just wondering only if I could take that, but don't give me diet, okay? Don't tell me what to do about my diet. I'm not doing that, but just give me one herb. And I said, okay, but let's look at your numbers. So just like going back a couple years ago, my dad's like prostate number. So they have cancer in the family. Like my grandfather and his brother, they both passed away from prostate cancer. And so my dad's number were like extremely high. And so we were all like worried, seeing specialists, seeing doctors. He was on 2 different medications, but he was still refusing to do anything about it other than just taking the medication. And he was so when he said about the herbs, he said, I'll take 1. And so when we looked at the number, and I spoke actually with Dr. Steven, and then he's like, okay, well, he needs to take 2 of them. So then I talked to Dad, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll take 2, but don't give me anything more. And then so he starts taking the herbs, and then we just like slowly we went to the doctor, and then we looked at, so I purposely had him to take the PSA numbers before we actually went to the doctor office, or before he starts the herbs. And then when we went to the specialist, he had to take it again. And this is like about between 3 weeks and 4 weeks of being on herbs. And then we looked at the number. His number is like normal, like it's 1.2, which is normal for his age. Like it's like range. So we went from like being extremely high in the 6-ish to be like 1.2, and I told my dad about it, and he was just like, oh, okay. And he immediately changes the subject, of course. And then they go on vacation with my mom, and then he calls me. He's like, so you know that medication that you talked about, can you send 2 of them to so-and-so? They're going to Iran. I want to send it for my cousin. I was like, but what is his symptoms? He's like, well, he has the same symptoms as I do. He wants the same herbs. And I'm like, actually, I called and I got the symptoms, so we send herbs. And then literally a few days later, he comes back from their trip, and then he's like, okay, so I need you to send the herbs to your cousin who is visiting now, is in Florida. He needs the same herbs. And I was like, but what are their symptoms? And so, and like literally at this one, the person that just didn't believe it, and it's just like, don't tell me about it. By the way, he stopped eating, he lowered his gluten level, and he stopped eating rice, which was great. So and then lessering the amount of meat consumption. So slowly he's doing it. But so far, like 5 other people have received, like he has called me to like just about prostate. That it's very interesting. The person that was just like, don't tell me about these things, and now like so love it and wants to share it with everyone, because he sees the difference that he has made. And he still is on his medications. He is still on, like, we've talked with the doctors, and he's in a like, you know, care of the doctor and also taking the herbs. And then we have a plan that is like after 6 months to doing the test again, and then making sure the numbers good, and then start lowering like the chemicals, and just like lowering the medication so he doesn't have to take as much as allopathic medicine. So, but it's just amazing. It's so great. And I really truly see that it's like, you know, even the people that are not like, they don't want it or they whatever, but when we do it, when we make a difference in our life, they see the changes and the difference in us. And that's how we can make a difference in others, by like actually actions, not by just words. So, but thank you.
I love it. Mojo, when I'm thinking about last year when you were a nurse in the emergency room, am I saying that right?
I think you want me to be a nurse.
No, okay. Nurse in the ICU. When you're a nurse in the ICU and you had a prayer about what to do with your life.
Yeah.
And the way you've been guided, and to see this result for someone you love so much, it just makes me so happy. I'm so glad Dr. Stephen introduced you to the book. You read it in 2 days, joined the 3-year path. And for anyone who has someone you love, and you know, the best way to help them is, first of all, apply it to yourself. When they see those changes, they'll start asking you. And you can start small. And one of the easy ways you can start is give them the link to book an appointment, a consultation with one of the doctors in India. Another small thing, you can send them my TEDx talk. Another thing, actually, you know, when we're in Mexico, the shaman, the person who was leading the whole meditation, I just felt inspired to give her the copy of this book in Spanish. She says she never reads books. I just got a voicemail from her saying she's halfway through it. Her whole life is changing. She's so excited about it. She got the audiobook, and the book itself has a magic for taking a skeptical mind and turning it into a possibility. Even the way you talked about your cousins in Iran, how now they're going to benefit. On the call right now is Dr. Susan Padrad. Her miracle story of getting the book and how the book is now getting situated in Farsi to be launched with one of the largest publishers in Farsi and distributed throughout Iran is amazing. Susan, can you give an update on that and anything you want to share?
Hi, Dr. Clint. I'm glad I had the chance for a few minutes to share a very sensitive moment for people in Iran who started from having the least freedom for a young generation, women who got killed because the hair was showing. And we have to be, all of us, to be so grateful for the freedom we have. This is the most important thing that has been taken away from women, especially in Iran. The least freedom they have, that they choose what to put on, how to dress up, how to talk. And finally, I'm so grateful that awareness raised by losing the life of one person who got beaten overhead and gone in coma and died. And there is a movement that is amazing all over the world, even in Iran. They finally got that awareness. They have to be stopped. And it's coming out now. The kids on the street getting killed every day, and I just request all the good energy of the community and the group, we get together and pray for them, really, to finally gain back their freedom, who deserve to have it. And the mantra now is going on among all the Iranian is women, life, and freedom. So I just wanted to share that, yes, the minimum thing that they can have access through Amazon to get a book is in Iran not happening. That's why when I got Afsana translated the book, and
yes, thank you, Afsana.
I wanted really for them to have access to the book, same as us here. And thank God we could get a group that helping us to do that. And hopefully after this crisis is going on, because everything over there has controlled and needed permission.
That's so beautiful.
So
I just want to acknowledge you, Dr. Susan, for like, we're looking at, you know, Shakti energy and Mother Earth, and also freedom of expression and freedom of being. So I'm so thankful you brought that in. And I want to thank you so much, time is a little bit short, but thank you for the work that you've done to make sure that the book in
Oh
Farsi.
no, that's the
Take the
least I
time.
could do to get them to have access on, and hopefully after this crisis, the permission would be issued, or maybe they're gone. We don't need any permission, and we can get everyone have access on it.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you for
beautiful.
having the chance.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, Afsana. Thank you, all the translators that have showed up with so much love. We're about to go into the breakout rooms, but before that, Monica, I just want to come back to you as my co-host on today's call. What has love taught you on today's call? I just want everyone to be thinking about, what did love teach you today? What did love teach you today?
Oh my goodness. Love taught me that abundance is everywhere. That is my natural state of being.
Yes, very, very powerful. Mojda, what did love teach you on today's call?
That love is very contagious, and love brings healing, and it starts with ourselves.
I love that. So, so beautiful. I just say, go ahead and put in the chat, what did love teach you today? If everyone just puts that in the chat, then it anchors it in you deeper. And as we transition into the breakout rooms for those who are part of the Miracle Experiment experience, and as you're putting in the chat, I just want to ask a couple other people, Ronnie, and then Beverly, I'm going to ask you, what did love teach you today?
I have a really quick story, and it's just amazing. I've lived in the house I'm currently in for 45 years. And so this has never shown up before. So I go out yesterday and my grandson says, look, and I have a great big tree that's over my deck. And the whole thing is just swarming with bees. I mean, it's like a whole umbrella of bees. We've never had bees out there like that. And I'm going, whoa, the animals are here. And the buzz was like a song. And the first thing that came to my mind was honey, honey, dripping in honey. It was just so magical. They're still out there. We can walk out on the deck. We can walk around them. They're not posing any harm at all. It's just totally magical. I've never seen anything like it ever.
What a great sign of abundance. What a great sign of abundance. And B is also about cooperation, about love. Thank you so much for sharing that. Cornelia, how much time do you need before we go into breakout rooms? You getting close to being ready? You can unmute yourself.
As I said, Aditi Deva Baba, I have technical issues. I put people into rooms, and then when I go back into the room, they are gone again. So I guess we just open at some point the rooms, and then I assign them when we are having the rooms open. It's not working normally.
Okay. Well, as you're working on that, we'll get ready to go into the breakout room soon. I'm just reading what some people are putting. Helen Roberts, love is teaching me there are amazing, strong people across the world. Dorothea, listening to beautiful stories and giving recognition. Kaylee, love is a natural state to be discovered. So beautiful. All right, I want to go to Beverly.
I gotta say, I love you, Cornelia, and I love your grace when you are in the middle of crisis. I would be a mess, and you are so calm all the time. You're such an inspiration. I didn't have to say that.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you for witnessing that. Beautiful. Beverly?
Love has taught me to be present in every precious moment that's here, and that's there's so much to be grateful for.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. For those who this is your first time on the call, hopefully one of the welcome angels has reached out to you. You can understand a little bit more about what's happening here and how to book a consultation if you want one, how to get access to the book if you want, or how just to connect with us more. These calls are every Sunday, 8 a.m. Pacific, in which we look at how the possibilities that happen when we apply these ancient secrets in our lives. And so some of those welcome angels probably reach out to you. All right. I want to go to one other person if I can. Let's see. I don't know, Wendy, if you're still on the call. Oh, Wendy, what did love teach you today?
Love taught me that I can always come back to love. I just been having a really hard time staying in that place of seeing God in everyone and everything. But I know I can always come back.
Yeah, it's so good to remember. Thank you for sharing that with all of us, because not everyone's always in a state of blissful love, so just remember, I can come back. You know, and the more that that becomes our thermostat, we set it at that, then if we go out, we come back to that. You know, it becomes our normal. And in this miracle experiment experience, yeah, I could do a 3-day event and people would love it. But I was thinking, what can we do that people get ingrained in them, the principles in their daily life, so it becomes their normal? Yes, we can teach it, you can read a book, but in a community where you're applying the principles with others on a regular basis, when you're in your regular home, it starts to shift that in a powerful way that I don't think happens when you go necessarily away for events, although I love events, or that you just read it in a book. And so I'm so glad you're here, Wendy, coming back to it again and again. So beautiful.
Thanks.
All right, Sue, I just asked you to unmute. I want to hear what love taught you today, and then we'll go to maybe to Casey after that.
Sorry, sorry. Are you talking to me? So sorry.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
you.
right then something happened. I got a call, but it was a very kind call. So I just said I had to go. So please forgive me. Now, I think it taught me, it made me feel that I know people who are struggling with prostate stuff, and I feel more hope. And it made me also feel the power of sharing the hope and the possibilities for people. So that's where my mind went. And I also feel such gratitude. I felt I'm going to incorporate Sarah's beautiful song, and I feel like there's a way that all of this is just seeping deeper and deeper into our beings with each aspect of ancient secrets that we've learned. So that's where it took me.
Beautiful. All right, I want to go to Sarah and then Casey. Sarah, what did love teach you on today's call?
Love taught me today that it's amplified and magnified and multiplied when it's shared.
Yes. Yeah, so that's why in this, especially in the small group experiences, you have a chance to share. And I encourage you to give your 100% in those small groups. Every day interacting, what do I want? Every day saying something you're grateful for. Every day sharing some Aditi Baba or some miracle experiment. In the sharing of it, it magnifies. It's so powerful. All right, Casey, please.
All of a sudden, I just got really shy. Thank you. Gosh, love taught me just so many things, and I've been on this, healing journey of my own right now, and I have a lot to share. I won't share it here, but so many synchronicities and so many miracles since I found your book, Clint. And but on today's call, and I'm actually in Manaus, Brazil right now. My wife and I, we just got off the Amazon River. Wow. Doing some medical missions, and then just to come into this call and be a part of this, I don't know, my heart. So what love has taught me is that the heart has the most amazing capacity to, to heal us and to heal everybody. Just, sharing stories and just hearing stories is very healing and touching. So that's what love taught me.
Beautiful. Thank you for the work you're doing, Casey. Can't wait to connect with you more. Nehemiah, I was looking for you. Please share with me.
Here I am. There are two things that were shared today and emphasized are so crucial. Love is our teacher and also the company of a master. That's the two things that I learned, in this case, Dr. Naram. I want to emphasize something Moramaishi emphasized. They are there for us all the time. Not just them, all the people from the other worlds, our ancestors. When I told my brother, my mother came to tell me that running a meditation center for her helped her to heal the energy of her suicide. My brother said, how come my mother don't talk to me? I told him, because you don't ask her. We have to ask them if we need help from Dr. Naram, if you need help from any ancestor, if you need, we have our community. The most important are the people who are here now. I want to emphasize. But sometimes we need help, and they are there all the time because we have to be here now. They are there all the time, whether we are aware of it or not. Our ancestors are there to support us. The masters we've been in touch in this lifetime, in other lifetimes. Feel free. Every night I go to sleep and I have two masters in my ear. My current master Master Charles reading the poems of Hafiz and tell me, remember, and be like, remember who you are, remember the master before you. Hafiz, the subject is love.
Nice guy.
And I want also to say welcome to the great grandmothers, the new one, and to my friend Andrea. You deserve it, all of you.
So beautiful. On that note, I just want to thank Dr. Naram, thank all this lineage of masters and all of your ancestors, your parents, your mothers, your fathers. I know Michael Smith, his father's in the hospital right now. I know Gary Malkin, his mother is, and whatever your parents are, whether they're alive or not. My mother, man, I love her so much. She's going to be a special guest on the upcoming one-year immersion Saturday call. Just in this moment, I'd just like for us to give thanks for those who have made us who we are and brought us to the place we are. Just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's just put our hands together and wherever they are, so they can feel us thinking of them. And this time, put one hand on your heart as if it's them and one hand out. Love you and I'm with you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for being with me. Oh, so beautiful. Having said that, I think that's probably enough time, Cornelia, for you. We're going to stop the recording right now. Love everyone who's joining this call. Looking forward to seeing you if you're in the Miracle Experiment Experience. We have such powerful lineup starting tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, and each day for the morning activations. If you're not in the Miracle Experiment Experience, then send us love and we'll send you love. And we'll look forward to seeing you on upcoming Sunday calls, Sunday for the next Global Healing Miracle Experiment. All right. I think, Cornelia, since you are the host,